Right now, I'm showing the instructor mode versus the student mode, just so that you can see the My Groups. And you see the My Groups is right here. And
Okay.
let's see. So when you click on under My Groups, it tells you what group number you're a part of. So I put myself in group 7. So I'm part of group 7. And with group 7, I should be able to collaborate with them and do a collaborate session like I'm doing with you right now. I should be able to exchange files or set up a group discussion. Now, the actual assignment will be completed on a group wiki. So the group wiki works like Wikipedia. And do you know the way Wikipedia works?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So you have a public domain where everybody can go. Well, I don't know if everybody can do it now, but it used to be everybody could log onto Wikipedia if they had access and then make changes to the current content. And so this will work like a group wiki. Of course, if you want to contact members in your group, you can click on send email and it shows you who is in your group right there, right? And then you can send email to them. You can customize a group page, but to actually write the assignment, you will click on Group Wiki and then title, I'll just say signature assignment. You will actually write a title for your assignment, since I can spell. And then I'll say here, start typing here. Okay, here. Okay. So when you're typing, you type a lot of words, whatever it is, and then you're done, you will press submit, and whatever you have typed will be saved. And the person coming in behind you will be able to see the information you're typing. I will be able to see all the activity going on that page because I've set it up to where anytime someone logs in and submits something, I get a notification that something got submitted. And so as you go on there and you type, every stroke and everything will be recorded. So I'll be able to see what each group member is contributing to the paper as a whole. You're going to be working with 2 other group members whose grade is very similar to yours. And then that way you don't feel like, okay, my grade is bad because somebody else wasn't really participating. In the end, you guys will have one paper that you submit, essentially what is written on here. All the images and everything will be put on here. Of course, your names will be on there too. Once you press submit and you're done and you let me know we're done with the paper, I'll assume the paper is done. Or if we're past the deadline, I'll assume whatever is on there is the final paper. Okay. Now, with having 3 people writing the same paper, you may have different, language command. And so I'll say ultimately one person in the group has to make sure the paper is more cohesive than it's not. So what I mean by that is if you guys decide, well, you write the intro, you write the main body, and somebody else writes the conclusion, you want to make sure the language is not very different. The overall paper looks cohesive. Okay, that's the theoretical
Mhm.
goal. You have your pictures, so you want to divvy up the work the way you guys choose fit. And then, of course, in the end, you're going to be writing the paper. Because we have to do the peer evaluation and self evaluation, that portion will be worth 10 points. And now the paper itself is only worth 60 points. So that other portion, the peer evaluation, group evaluation, or I guess team member evaluation, is worth points too. So I want to make sure that you guys can do that part because I ultimately have to tabulate all those scores and then submit them in. So if you decide your team member is not participating the way they should, you want to rank them accordingly based on the criteria. You won't get points or lose points based on how you rank your team member. And all rankings will be confidential, so nobody will see how you rank them because you're actually submitting that assignment in a specified location. Do you have any questions about that so far?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so let me see if I can find the place because in my other class where I've done most of the work, the assignment is in a different link, so I have to come here and see what I managed to actually move over. In the signature assignment, let's see. Oh, there it is. I do have the self and peer evaluation form or review. So the instructions on the signature assignment is right here. When you click on that, it tells you what the assignment is and how to write it. And of course, over here, I added the information that you have to click on My Groups to see who is in your group, and then to figure out exactly how y'all are going to write the information. When you're done, you will actually submit your teamwork, self, and peer evaluation form right here. So I have to actually include that information here in the link, but this is the form. So I have fashioned this form to the teamwork rubric that was designed by the state government. And so if you're wondering why I have this information, it's based on that. So I paraphrase the terminology a little bit. Okay, hold on just a second. I don't know who's calling me right now. I can't talk. Okay, sorry. Okay, so right here we have the evaluation form. The evaluation, essentially, you're going to fill one for each team member and then one for yourself. So if you're filling it for yourself, you're both the evaluator and the evaluated student. So you put your names in both ends, write the course number, the date, and then you're going to rank yourself based on how you think you did. It's a moment for self-reflection, okay? Once again, you get credit for completing this. I'm not going to give you credit based on how well you rated yourself or how realistic you were, because I won't be there to observe the transaction. So I have to trust whatever you write. If you say everybody was perfect and they require no improvement, I will just go with what you write, okay? So you get credit for completion, period, okay, with this part here. With the paper, I have to make sure you actually fulfill the requirements of the paper. I'm looking at the paper, trying to figure out if you follow the instructions. Do you have, the first thing will be looking at quantitative reasoning. Do you have a graph? Do you have an equation? Do you have a diagram that you refer to and a table? So this is what I'm looking for. And if you have this, then you get credit for that. And then the other question I'm trying to answer as I'm looking at your paper is, do you refer to, are you able to take the information out of these sources and write about them in your paper? If you're done with that, great, you get credit for that. Next thing, are you able to show step-by-step calculations in your paper? If you've done that, you get credit for that. So I'm pretty much just looking for these things that are outlined in the rubric, because that's what the government and the school want to make sure you're able to do. Are you able to extract information from a graph, an equation, a diagram, a table? Are you able to use it in defending a claim? Your resources that you find either online in a book or whatever has to have these components here. Okay? And so you go through, I'm not going to read everything. I'm just going to skim over this part. Critical thinking, this is when you take a stand, right? You state a claim, you state the problem, what's the main objective, and then you state where you stand. You want to have supporting information that either prove or disprove the major issue in the paper. And then let me see what else. There's a lot of information here, but as you read that, you want to hit as many as possible. The goal is not for you to hit everything, but as many as possible. And the more you hit, the better, ultimately. This rubric won't be used, I mean, will be useful for this class, obviously, right? But it'd be useful for classes that you're going to be taking in the four-year college later on, because when I went to four-year colleges, we did not have a rubric. We're told write a paper, you're on your own, all the best. Then you came, the grade came back and you had a B or a C or A, and you're like, oh, I'm great. You never knew why. You just got a grade. There was never a rubric. So this is great, not just for this class, for you to have in future papers that you will write. Okay. We do have written communication here that we're going to be looking at, how you develop the content, then ultimately how you cite your sources. Okay, so you have to use the APA 6th edition format when you're citing sources. You have to cite the sources as you use them. That's what it says here in text citation, as you use them. According to Johnson & Johnson, this sunscreen is great because, you know, and you're paraphrasing, versus writing the information like it's yours. Because most of the information you're going to be using in your paper will be somebody else's research and somebody else's work. So you want to give credit to the author or the researcher. The bottom line with this assignment is to make sure you get with your team members as soon as possible. And then, I started working on getting the team members. Sophie, I noticed that your connection was lost. I've been talking that way. I figured I'd wait for you. I've been working on getting the team members because I'm trying to make sure I group you guys with people who are going to participate. And so I'm having to actually write, and I have to manually enter everything. So it's taking me a little while, but my goal is to get all group members for all courses before I go home today. That way you can contact your group members, send them an email, and then y'all can decide how to, divide the work and then work together. The whole point is for you guys to work together so you can have something to write about in the peer review. Okay? And of course, write the paper. And the biggest thing is I'm here to answer the questions. Once again, this is a new platform for you guys. I'm assuming it is. We haven't done teamwork in a while. So this might be a new platform for you. Okay, great. It might be a new platform for you. So just go ahead and do your best. If you have any questions, just ask me and then we'll go from there. So, okay. Once again, you want to go to this part, scroll down to see my groups. And the biggest thing you want to start with is send an email to your group members. It shows right here who is in your group who is a group member. You can send this to everyone. So to send an email, it says here available to select. So I'm not sending myself an email, but if I was, right here, subject, say group assignment, signature assignment. And then, of course, you have the body of the email. Hello, Chem 1405 group member. I know this is so. I can't type. Okay, hold on. I really am not good at typing at all. Now, the more I'm saying it, the worse I'm getting. Ignore my spelling. Ignore my spelling. Okay, there, I got it. Hello, Chem 1405 group member. And then you can type whatever you want to type and then go ahead, submit. This will send the email to all your group members. Then you can start the communication. So if you have any questions about how to get to your group members, go ahead and send me an email, but this is how you get them. Okay. So when I change to student format, I don't actually see it on my end, but you guys should be able to see your group member. Yeah, see mine disappears, but you should see the my group underneath here. Okay. If you're unable to see, please let me know. I'll try to check to see what I can do to help you.